I'm Ruzen. Hi, Prashant ji.
Hi, Vijay.
Hi, Usha ji.
Hello.
So my question is, Prashant ji, you've written Kagbeni and you've written Katha. अनि त्यो दुइटै फिल्ममा चाहिँ के भन्छ सौगात मल्लले कास्ट गर्नुभएको छ होइन. So what's it like? Do you have like that actor in mind while you're writing the script or before you write the script? तपाईँले like त्यो लेख्दाखेरि नै पहिल्यै विचार गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ कि कस्तो हुन्छ तपाईँको प्रोसेस चाहिँ?
It depends. Project ma depend garcha. Sometimes I do have some people in my mind. Sometimes I don't. Kagbeni was already written. Then we audition garदाखेरि. That is when Saugat came in. Everyone came in audition But for Kagbeni, everything was done already. Whereas again making Katha, I already had Saugat and Usha in my head because we were already very good friends since a long time before we made this movie, and I knew these guys like really well. Now this is very important for directors, observation. I have observed them for many years as friends. I know what is their speciality and what they have inside, and sometimes Saugat stammers, but no director has ever used his stammering thing in any of the movies. Everybody wants perfect dialogues from him, but that is the speciality. And Usha, I know Usha used to like act at home, act everywhere. Among the friends, we used to hang out together. Very close friends we were. So I knew her talent. She always used to act like a kid, that naughty kid Usha show. You do that. I remember that. So I knew their hidden talents, I guess. So, and already having those things in your mind and then creating something, then you just have to tell your friends, now you're in, and let's do it. This is how you do it, and you don't have to tell how to do it because it is them only you have created. So they'll just do it.
हामी दुईजना सर नामको दुईजनाको एक्सपिरियन्स थियो फिल्म मेकिङ गर्दाखेरि एक्सपिरियन्सहरू चाहिँ हामीले कस्तो कस्तो फेस गर्नुभयो ट्रबल्सहरू जस्तो सुनेपछि नि हामीलाई क्वेसन सोध्न अलिक सजिलो हुन्थ्यो कि जस्तो लाग्यो.
Actually, Katha was a fun project with friends only. It was not at all a big team and pre-planned kind of thing. I just called Usha and Saugat and said, we're going to a place. It's a nice place. Let's go there, shoot a film. You guys want to come? They just came, and then we went there and we had this vague idea about what we want to do. So Saugat came 2 days later because he was shooting Acharya that time, and Usha was already here. So we shot for 2 days all the horror ideas that we had. Then after Saugat came, what happened was actually I wanted to play a music, have a music in the background while making a movie. This particular movie Katha, and I didn't really have any story in head, but I just wanted to follow the music, background music. So it was the music from Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which I had chosen. And when we started shooting, I suddenly realized we were supposed to play the music. So I said, play the music, and my brother played a track from Cinema Paradiso instead. And I said, okay, let it run. So we started. And then that whole day we shot with Cinema Paradiso music. So that's how from Curious Case music to Cinema Paradiso music, the music itself changed our idea from love to, from horror to love. So we followed the music and made the movie. That's how the movie came out.
So one day Prashant writes to me or calls me in 2000. It was the year 2012, I guess. Yeah. When let's do a film, he says, and said, yeah, sure. Like Prashant Rasaily approached me. And I was so like, oh, I was like, oh. So I have had a very good impression of Prashant since Kagbeni. So I auditioned for Kagbeni and in the year 2006. And I think Prashant did tell me, oh, one day I'm going to make a film with you. When Prashant, you did say that, something like that. But it took how many years? From 2006, actually 2006
6
7.
years?
It took you 6 years. Yes, so bad at maths. It took you 6 years, but you finally made it. And I was in Kyrgyzstan at the time. My young family had just moved there, and I was there with my young daughter. She was 3, and so I had to come to Nepal first, and then to Sikkim. And yeah, I started to prepare for it. Prashant gave me the guidelines, and he referred me a few films. One of them was The Piano. If you guys have watched it, it's a beautiful film. And I watched that film. The actor there is person as well, and I looked. I did go to a couple of places, schools where there were school for the mute and the deaf, and it helped me to observe and all. I was preparing there. I think we prepared for about 2-3 months, eh, Prashant? And then I flew in, and we went to Sikkim, and the magic happened.
actually त्यो तपाईँको मुभी हेर्दा चाहिँ एकदम त्यो डार्कहरू प्लेसहरूमा मात्र धेरै छ त्यो अब रातिको सिन अनि जस्तो भए पनि उनीहरूको त्यो सिटीटाको कि एकदमै स्टोरीले मागेर गए किनकि मा पनि गर्न सकिन्थ्यो किन सिनहरू मोस्ट सिनहरू चाहिँ किन तपाईँकोहरूमा छ
एक त मेन त्यो उसको डिमान्ड नै हो स्पेसको डिमान्ड भनौँ किनभने इफ वी आर सुटिङ अब माउन्टेनमा वेयर देयर इज नो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इनसाइड अ हट वेयर देयर इज नो विन्डो नथिङ इट विल बी डार्क सो हामीले अब युजुअली के हुन्छ भने कमर्सियल सिनेमा हलिउड सिनेमा बलिउड सिनेमामा वी अलवेज सी एभ्रिथिङ इज लिट सो ब्राइटली इभन इनसाइड अ केभ इट्स भेरी ब्राइट you know, but that does not that takes away the feel, you know. Yes, there are so many international movies, you know, where you're watching a movie and suddenly there is a scene it goes on and on for 15-20 minutes just dark, you know. That is acceptable. When we do, it is not acceptable because you know, that is the way would be अलिकति हामीले आफ्नो वर्कलाई पनि आई थिंक ग्लोबल प्लेटफर्ममा एक्सेप्टेबल बनाउन सक्ने हो भने चाहिँ खाली सबै कुरा देखाएर पनि हुँदैन sometimes because in the dark also there is a lot of things happening, you know, and it is not just dark without sound, there is sound. So film like that दुईटा टुल मिलाएर त बनाउँछौँ जस्तै कि sound and visuals, right? So sometimes when you are showing less saying more, sometimes when you are saying less showing more, that's the only idea.
One like मलाई चाहिँ मेरो आफ्नो इन्टरप्रिटेसन या बुझे जस्ट उ गर्न खोजेकोमा जब मैले मुभी हेरेँ अनि फुल्ली त्यसपछि मलाई चाहिँ कता कता एउटा मुना मदनसँग इन्स्पायर कि जस्तो पनि फिल भयो होइन किनकि अब मुना मदनमा पनि के हुन्छ भने अब पैसा नभएपछि ऊ सर्टेन टाइम कमाउनको लागि जान्छ अनि त्यसपछि आउने बेला उसको वाइफको डेथ भइसकेको हुन्छ नि त अनि एमा पनि अब जब मेन हिरो चाहिँ जानुहुन्छ सौगात मल्ल अनि फेरि जब रिटर्न हुने बेलामा चाहिँ एक्ट्रेसको डेथ भएको हुन्छ होइन सो वी क्यान से लाइक त्यो अलिकति इन्स्पायर छ कतैबाटै
Honestly, being a Nepali, it's sad to say, but I've never read Muna Madan myself. I know the names Muna and Madan. But if you see, such stories are there everywhere, all around the world. It is not just Muna Madan. All the love stories, if you see, most of the tragic love stories are like that only. You know, it's a natural thing. And most importantly, Katha was not made the way it has come out. You know, I mean, that was not the intention. We went there to make a horror film, shot for 2 days, and then decided to make a love story out of it. So it was a crazy experimentation rather.
हजुरको फिल्महरुमा त्यो सुपरनेचुरल थिम्सहरु के रिपिट भइरहन्छ है
For filmmakers, for storytellers, what we relate to, you know, आफ्नो किन हामीले कुन कुरासँग रिलेट गर्न सक्छ त्यही कुरालाई नै हामीले एक्सप्रेस गर्न सक्छौं. You know, usually my way of life is like that, you know. I'm somewhere else. So I always like to tell stories with a part of something from somewhere else, you know. So that is the only thing. I think it is the way of life that I'm living, you know, that influences my work, you know, my beliefs or whatever it may be. So that has always been there, you know, that
भूत supernatural
the other side, you know, you talk about. That's always there.
Also, I found out from somewhere that most of the script was written on location, on set.
There was no script as such, actually. Like we said, we went to make a horror film, and third day, we decided to change it into love story. So you can imagine, even if there is a script, what will happen to the script? So there was no script as such.
No.
We were just
So
following the mood. Yeah.
I'm sorry I cut you off. What I'm getting at is, as a learning filmmaker myself, I know that situation in the set can be really chaotic. So scriptबाट त्यसरी ड्रिफ्ट भइसकेपछि तपाईँले त्यस्तो सिचुएसनलाई कसरी ह्यान्डल गरेर स्क्रिप्टलाई अगाडि बढाउनु भयो भन्ने खालको क्वेसन चाहिँ मलाई सोध्नु।
Script, see how I look at it is, I've seen a lot of people sitting down to write. They have some idea in their head and they start writing. They write, and somewhere they get stuck, then they take a break, they think, then they write again, and that's how they go. But there's a very simple trick. If you see, if you just know where you're starting and where you're going to, what is your end? If you know the end, you can go this way, that way, any which way, you'll get there because you know where you're going. So that is the only thing. If you know where you're going with so many people, you go this way, that way, you'll get there. And just keeping the emotion in mind, the kind of scenes you would create, because it's a sad film in the end, you cannot make too many funny scenes in between. So that maintaining that emotion and guiding the audience towards the final destination, knowing the final destination is the most important thing.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Right. I have been. This is Prashant. I think I hear a lot of heart in Prashant's voice. Okay? Jस्तै head र heart को मान्छेहरु हुन्छ नि. This is you speaking from your heart, but भाइलेको Ruzen. I think you want to know technical side, what I have seen, what I saw, I could tell you. जस्तै कि बिहान हामी 6 बजे सेटमा पुग्दाखेरि we used to have a briefing के आज यस्तो गर्छ उस्तो गर्छ यस्तो गर्छ भनेर है, if I remember that right. एउटा दिनभरिको शेड्युल हुन्छ, यो सिन गर्छ यो सिन गर्छ यो सिन गर्छ, यसमा यस्तो हुन्छ यस्तो हुन्छ यस्तो हुन्छ हैन. अनि त्यसपछि we would take that by the day, right? divide गरेर ए ल बिहानको घाममा यो लाइटमा अनि पछि यहाँनिर हिँडिरा हुन्छ त्यो हिँडिरा हुन्छ त्यस्तो थियो. Technically say that is what we got, that is all we got. So maybe I just had a moment of enlightenment right now. You're a director, you should have things very very clear in your mind that it's too clear without any script. अहिले पनि मेरो हातमा त्यहाँ 2-3 वटा स्क्रिप्ट छ के, कुनै प्रिन्टेड कुनै यहाँनिर कम्प्युटरमा छ हैन, PDF मा छ स्क्रिप्टहरुको फिल्महरुको. मलाई त यादै नभएर कि त्यतिखेर मेरो हातमा स्क्रिप्टै थिएन, कथा भनेर लेखेको केही पनि थिएन कि. अब बल्ल याद आयो कि स्क्रिप्ट थिएन भनेर. यादै नभएको कि as an actor I didn't even realize that script थिएन because we knew what to do के. He had that vision so clear, so concrete. अब चेन्ज भयो रे हैन, so flexible. पहिला हरर फिल्म बनाउन गएको पछि लभ स्टोरी भयो रे भन्दाखेरि ए हो र भने गरेर त्यस्तो बुद्धि फ्लेक्सिबल हुन्छ र. But once you know it, you knew it, right? You knew it, and that from you took it forward, and he was so concrete about it.
So के कुरा त फिक्स्डै हुन्छ नि हैन, जस्तो ल अब कुमारीको क्यारेक्टर यो हो भनेर त त्यो त 100% नै हुन्छ, त्यो त मरिकै चेन्ज हुँदैन है.
I think like you said, characters, that is fixed, already. And the location, of course, when you choose a location, everything that comes in the location, including people, places, everything, you have already chosen and you're fixed on that. Now it is this story. It is only the story that you need to twist and turn here and there. Sometimes, okay, we are about to shoot a scene where there's sun, and suddenly you see a block of cloud coming, and it just takes about 15 seconds to get there, So what do you do in that 15 seconds? You change the scene right away in 15 seconds and do another scene so that you make use of that cloud, because we didn't have much time. We were up in the mountains for 14 days. So we had to really, do whatever we could in given time,
So day and schedule पनि fixed नै थियो.
Schedule भन्दाखेरि पनि like I said, we actually went there like a bunch of fun friends, just to have fun, say filmmaking fun. So it was, yeah, we were there for about 2 weeks. That's what we thought, we stay for about 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks, whatever we could do, we did, and that's how it is, So every day we did something, and okay, looking at the work, we thought, okay, tomorrow we'll add this, and next day we added that, and so on we went.
Prashant makes it sound so easy, है अनि त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि अब हामी त we are used to listening to such कडा टर्म्सहरू के यस्तो त्यो शेड्युल त्यो मेरो 5 year प्लान देखि लिएर हैन कुनी के भन्छन् आजकलको संसारमा हैन अनि you are speaking such सरल तरिकामा भन्दै हुनुहुन्छ but we on the other side we felt professionalism के भन्दै हुनुहुन्छ नि हैन अहिले we're just having fun भनेर हैन I felt अहिलेसम्म काम गरेको मध्येमा हैन त्यतिखेरको त म हट हिरोइन हो नि भनेपछि I had worked in so many projects theater film teleserial music videos अनि के मात्र गरेन नि नेपाली फिल्म जगतमा तर इभन इन्डियामा पनि एउटा दुईटा काम गर्यो चाइनिजहरू यहाँ आउँथे मोडलिङको लागि यताउता सबै काम गर्दाखेरि I felt that it was the most professional set I have ever worked in. Prashant, by the way, since I'm all about Prashanta at the moment, Prashant is a very respected man in Sikkim. म त्यहाँ सिक्किम जाँदाखेरि म त छ खुट्टा ढोक्न आउँथेँ उहाँको मान्छेहरूले होइन अनि पछि दाई भनेर there were filmmakers eager to learn from him, like Prashant's experience from Mumbai and नेपालमा यहाँनिर जे गर्नुभयो त्यो सबै कति कदर गरेर आउनुभएको अनि सेटमा पनि त्यस्तै थियो कि हाम्रो भाइब चाहिँ त्यस्तो थियो अनि Prashant never let people down कि अनि जस्तै प्रोफेसनलिजम हुँदा हुँदा पनि काइन्डनेस थियो कि त्यो फिल्म गर्ने बेला गाउँलेको यति धेरै सहयोग पाएको नि यति धेरै सपोर्ट पाएको
ऊ लाइक पहिलेदेखि नै चिन्जान हो प्रशान्तजी त्यो ऊ कम्युनिटीसँग चाहिँ
नो त्यो कम्प्लिटली त्यो भिलेज म त्योभन्दा अगाडि एकपल्ट पुगेको थिएँ इट इज भेरी क्लोज टु चाइना एन्ड भुटान बोर्डर भेरी अप इन द माउन्टेन्स सो वन्स आई हेभ बिन देयर एन्ड इट वाज अ ब्युटिफुल भिलेज तर त्यो भिलेजमा प्राय अब एकदमै त्यो रोड कन्स्ट्रक्सन लेबरर्सहरू मात्रै बस्छ हार्डली एनी हाउस भनौँ न बिग हाउसको त पुरै छैन भेरी स्मल सेड्स एन्ड सो अनि सो yeah, that was the second time I went and we shot the film there.
I have a question for both of you. Starting off with Prashant sir, as a film maker aspirant Nepali, how headstrong should we be to face the current Nepali scenario of cinema in Nepal? And for Usha ma'am, I have a question about how you have played this speech-impaired character in Katha, and it was very poignant and beautiful the way you delivered the character. And I watched this movie like a couple of times, and every time I watch it, it brings me to tears. So, what was your how difficult or easy was it to personify Kumari?
So, यहाँ के हुन्छ भने the biggest mistake people make is भोलि सुटिङ छ है आज तयार गरौँ भनेर कन्ट्र्याक्ट साइन गर्छ के गर्छ हैन देयर इज नट भेरी लेस इन्भेस्टमेन्ट इन प्री प्रोडक्सन अनि आई मेन्सन्ड अर्लियर कि उता किर्गिस्तानमा हुँदाखेरि आई वाज अलरेडी वर्किङ सी सो दिस although it was the shooting day was 14 days it wasn't only a work of 14 days we were working 2-3 months ahead I was watching films I was visiting people I was getting into the character. Yes, I did get into depression, after this. It was such a, like overwhelming thing. Maybe it's something small and maybe it's not right for me to say, oh, my name is the dukha pai, but I did go into a certain mode which changed me in many ways, and that's how I worked. I observed to say, protocol how should an actor prepare भनेर त्यो त छँदैछ yes I'm a theater actor के गर्नुपर्ने त्यो the base I know of that very well but not all the time I am able to exercise them to honesty you see for that a good director is needed and that's why it's never enough for the makers, you know, कुन चाहिँ एङ्गलले सम्म कहिलेकाहीँ you do such great work होइन कस्तो दामी काम गरे हुन्छ you know it yourself कि तै पनि they are not able to capture it, they are not being त्यो मेकर्सहरू र त्यो एक्टर्सको केमिस्ट्री नमिलेर हो कि त्यो के नमिलेर हो त्यो मिलेको हुँदैन अनि सबै एक्टर्सको स्टाइल हुँदो रहेछ कि आई जस्ट नो दिस केम टु मी अहिले भर्खर कि अरू फिल्मसमा चाहिँ के गर्थ्यो भने ल एक्सन भन्यो होइन अनि आई वुड से माई लाइन्स यु नो बट कथामा एउटा के भएको थियो भने प्रशान्त करेक्ट मी इफ आइम रङ होइन तर ल एक्सन भन्यो होइन अनि हि लेट अस फ्लो इन्टु द रोल लेट अस फ्लो इन द सिन होइन ल के भइरहेछ भनेर भयो होइन त्यहाँ हामीले 7 मिनटको एक्टिङ गरेको छ भने त्यहाँबाट 30 सेकेन्ड्स लिन्थ्यो कि उसले बेस्ट वान इज द्याट योर स्टाइल प्रशान्त त्यही हो
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes when you're working without a script.
Oh, so I was able to, you know, like आफैलाई चित्त बुझ्ने कि कहिले काहीँ ल राम्रो गरेछु कि क्या हो अनि सबभन्दा चित्त बुझ्नु चाहिँ क्याप्चर गरेछु सो यु एज फिल्म मेकर इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु बी यु नो लाइक फेयर टु द एक्टर्स कहाँनिर के चाहिँ आफ्नो होमवर्क गरे हुनुपर्छ त्यो सबै प्रिपरेसन गरेको हुनुपर्दो रहेछ कि आई क्यान नेभर पे इनफ emphasis on pre-production. Yeah.
I guess first I would like to say one thing, that is if you are getting into filmmaking, that is an art, which means you are an artist. Now an artist, first thing one artist should do is remove all the boundaries. Remove all the boundaries wherever there are boundaries, be it language, nationality, people, whatever. You know, remove all the boundaries, free yourself. Don't only think about Nepal. If you think about Nepal, you'll only be in Nepal. You are an artist. Let the world see your art. You know, artist is an expressionist, one who expresses. So when you're expressing, why do you want your audience to be limited to only Nepal? Why not whole of humanity? Why not the entire world? So open yourself up and remember, whatever you do, you know, business, politics, art, whatever, in everything there is a little bit of you know work involved, you know, but don't call it struggle. You know, if you call your journey a struggle, you'll never get anywhere. You know, always say you're on the way and the journey is fun. You know, have fun. You know, don't worry about struggle. We don't know when our time will come, but we must prepare ourselves. That is the only thing. You know?
Can I add to that, Azur? Right?
Yes.
I'm the talkative one here. About sustaining yourself in this industry. यस्तो भएको थियो अस्ति भर्खर आई डिड दिस नाटक कल अर्को कुरुक्षेत्र सर्वनाम थिएटरसँग मिलेर होइन अनि त्यहाँनिर कस्तो राम्रो राम्रो चिज भन्नुभएको कि थिएटर इज अ पोर प्लेस टु बी इन बी इट इङ्ल्यान्ड युकेको होस् या नेपालको होइन it is a very poor place to be in. Although there is God, भगवान बाँच्नु छ भने होइन थिएटरै हो कि मेरो लागि एटलिस्ट है अनि थिएटरमा के कुरा भयो भने you should have to sustain a living, you should have orco professions on the side, and you do that, you know, you do that. Why? Because this is your passion. You need to keep your passion alive, and this is what it means to keep your passion alive. अहिले पनि म आई राइट रिपोर्ट्स फर द युएनडिपी होइन म कता कता अरू काम गरिरहेको हुन्छु टु सस्टेन माइसेल्फ किनभने आई डु निड यताबाट पैसा आउँछ आउँदैन थाहा छैन वेन आई डोन्ट नो वेन फ्रिलान्सर भएपछि तपाईँ फिल्म मेकर्स भएपछि all these uncertainties are there. The best thing you can do is to make yourself stable, right? While you become successful and you become yash johar Nitinjal ko लागि चाहिँ एउटा साइडको अर्को केही सस्टेनेबल बाटो चाहिँ राखिरहनु पर्छ. What do you like? Do you like to be a baker? बिहान गएर न्युजपेपर डेलिभरी गर्ने हो बुवाको बिजनेस सम्हाल्ने हो? You should do one of those things भनेर that was the conclusion that we came to. Thank you.
हेलो मलाई चाहिँ एक्चुअली दिलाई सोध्न मन लाग्यो क्वेसन सिन्स होइन तपाईँ अब यो मदर पनि हुनु भइसक्यो अनि त्यसपछि यो क्यारेक्टर पोर्ट्रे गर्ने बेला चाहिँ लुनालाई कतिको मिस गर्नुभयो र कतिको डिफिकल्ट थियो त्यो पोर्ट्रे गर्नलाई होइन अनि मलाई चाहिँ त्यो मुभीमा चाहिँ सबसे मन परेको सिन चाहिँ आई थिङ्क त्यो एकदम त्यो हार्ट टचिङ चाहिँ त्यो हजुरले त्यो मासु खानुहुन्छ नि ल्याएर
Oh my goodness.
इट वाज सो हार्ट टचिङ एकदमै टचिङवाला थियो है
Oh, thank you. So त्यो फिल्म त्यो सिन गर्दाखेरि त्यो सिनको बारे पहिला भन्छ है त त्यो सिन गर्ने बेला yet again thanks to the maker कि मलाई त्यो फ्रिडम दियो to think and how could I portray it the best justice provide गर्ने त्यतिखेर I remembered I thought of my mother मेरो आमा 5वटा छोरीको आमा हुनुहुन्छ है अनि पछि she tells of us of her struggles you know जब मेरो बुवाको काम थिएन तब मेरो बुवालाई समाजले भट्काएर उहाँबाट छुटाइदिएको रहेछ अनि she had a newborn baby she was pregnant while they separated थिए हैन she was on her own you know त्यो जमानामा चाहिँ अनि पछि she was there खाना पनि गाह्रो हुन्थ्यो अनि पछि भोकलाई प्रेग्नेन्ट भएको मान्छेहरूलाई थाहा हुन्छ कि कति भोक लाग्छ यो फिडिङ टु बडिज है अनि त्यस्तो भोको हुँदाखेरि खानेकुरा नभएर होइन त्यो she tells me things which bring shivers to my body मलाई भोक भन्ने चिज I cannot even imagine के तर उहाँले भन्नु भएको त्यतिखेर I thought of my mother when she कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भनेर I lived my mother at that time त्यही भएर राम्रो भयो होला धेरै मान्छे दिनुभयो and thank you so much मेरो आमाको तपाईँहरू अरू धेरैजना आमाको दुःख हामीले देखाउन पाएन है प्रशान्त त्यो एउटा छ होइन अनि अर्को के थियो क्वेसन इमोसनल पो भयो
अर्को क्वेसन चाहिँ लुनालाई रिलेट गरेर थियो मैले रिसेन्टली त्यो शाहरुख ताम्राकारले बनाएको पनि हेरेको थिएँ इट वाज नाइस होइन अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ त्यो अब सिन्स तपाईँ प्रेग्नेन्ट वुमनको क्यारेक्टर गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ अनि कति आफूले त फेरि त्यस्तो क्यारेक्टर गर्दाखेरि फेरि पहिलाको फेजमा गइन्छ नि त वेन यु ह्याड लुना त्यति बेलाको अनि त्यसपछि त्यो पोर्ट्रे गर्न कति गाह्रो भयो र अनि Did you miss your daughter or not?
I did not miss her. I was in fact so happy to be away from her. She was 3 years old, you know. And यहाँ छोडेर अनि दिदी र आमासँग छोडेर sorry ला मेरो छोरीले सुनेछ I love you. And I left her with my mother and sister and you know that way I think it depends on the personality of a person. When I knew that she was in good hands and when I knew that I had done my best as a mother and she's going to be fine, well fed, safe and everything. I did not miss her. And I was able to block my emotions. I know emotions ruin a lot of things for me. So when I'm at work, I try not to be emotional. So it worked for me. It might not have worked for a lot of people. I was also very well taken care of by the team. And I did not miss my private life so much. Also, it was like a holiday for me. Freedom. So I did not miss her. And yes, and today she has come out to be such a good actor. कस्तो राम्रो एक्टर छ भने प्रशान्त we haven't been able to talk हैन तर yeah she is a good actor अनि शाहरुखले फिल्म खेलाएको छ त्यो सधैँ छ अनि me I could not relate myself as the pregnant woman of Katha किनभने I had the most fantastic pregnancy जबकि यो आइमाको pregnancy was so different के I knew पेटमा बच्चा छ हैन and I knew how they made the baby too अनि पछि तर त्यो भन्दा बढी I could not relate to that character at all. I was like, in fact, अब मलाई याद आयो मेरो साथीको प्रवेश महर्जनको दिदी चाहिँ she was a nurse हैन maternity ward को नर्स हुनुहुन्थ्यो के अरे अनि त्यसपछि उहाँसँग गएर मैले कति कुरा गरेँ के त्यो बच्चा खोज्दाखेरि चाहिँ कस्तो फिल हुन्छ किनभने मेरो बच्चा खसेको छैन अहिलेसम्म हैन अनि त्यसपछि मर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कस्तो फिल हुन्छ भनेर प्रेग्नेन्सीमा बच्चा अड्क्यो भने कस्तो फिल हुन्छ भने सो आई ट्राई टु फिल द्याट अनि आई थिङ्क द्याट्स हाउ आई डिड इट अनि मैले बिचमा ओभर एक्टिङ गरेको थिएँ अनि प्रशान्त कन्ट्रोल नि त्यो बढी भयो साथी
के अरे जब फिल्महरूमा के मर्ने सिनहरू गरिन्छ या गरिसकेपछि त्यो तपाईँको आत्मा चाहिँ भट्किरहेको हुन्छ नि लास्टमा चाहिँ त्यो जब हिरो मरिसकेपछि चाहिँ किन फिल्महरूमा किन त्यो मिलन भएको देखाउँछ अनि अगाडि त तपाईँ लाटी हुनुहुन्थ्यो फेरि लास्टमा चाहिँ कान्छा भन्नुभएको छ अनि त्यो कुरा मलाई अलिकति हामी त्यो लास्टतिर स्पिरिचुअलतिर गएको हो त वी क्यान से द्याट
यो त डिरेक्टर सरले नै आन्सर गर्नुहुन्छ हामी त कठपुतली हौ हजुर जे भने त्यही गर्ने
Prashant सरलाई यो question.
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, when we have already shown both the characters dead, the characters who never spoke are dead, and now they meet somewhere in a different place, a heaven-like place, and they're talking. Means it has to be in a different dimension, obviously.
Okay.
अनि I have to admit it, right? त्यो लास्ट सिनको दिस इज रेलेभेन्ट एट अल लास्ट सिनमा फिल्मभरि बोल्न लागेन मलाई होइन लास्टमा चाहिँ कान्छा तिमी आयौ भनेर आई सक्ट एट इट किनभने मलाई आई वाजन्ट प्रिपेयर टु टक एट अल कि त्यो फिल्ममा होइन अनि यसै उसै मेरो बोलीमा अलिअलि प्रब्लम छ लर्के बोली छ क्या झ्याएर परेको होइन त्यो त ठिक छ आजको दिनसम्म आई फिक्स्ड इट होइन त्यो अस्ति नाटक गर्ने बेला वाउ भने ताली आयो 1.5 घन्टासम्म आई स्पोक नेपाली प्योर अशेष मल्लको नेपाली बोलेको अनि त्यो माथि मोनोलगै बोलेको अनि पछि अनि त्यसपछि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ सो हार्ड क्या नि त्यो फिल्मभरिमा रिटेक्स मेरो प्रब्लमले रिटेक्स लिएको थिएन जस्तो लाग्यो प्रशान्त इफ आइएम सो बोस्टफुल होइन लिएको थिएन क्या त्यतिखेर चाहिँ 7वटा 8वटा रिटेक लिएको कान्छा तिमी आयो भन्न नसकेर मैले
No, it was only Kancha. Just Kancha.
Kancha मात्र हो.
तिमी
There's another director here, Sahara Sharma.
Yes, I'm right here.
Just maybe Sahara can tell me about directing non-actors thorai, and then if you have any questions to Prashant ji also.
जहाँसम्म टेक्निकल उसको कुरा हो चाहिँ नन एक्टर्सहरुसँग काम गर्दाको like with everything else राम्रो कुरा नराम्रो कुरा दुईटै हुन्छ हैन लाइक द्याट्स त्यो लाइफमा सबै कुरा त्यही त हो राम्रो कुरा के हुन्छ भने because they don't have like a preconceived idea of यस्तो खालको सीन यस्तो हुनुपर्छ or हुन्छ नि this is there's no like that guessing game maybe the actor is trying to impress you or is angry with you director सँग भनौं न अनि उसको एउटा हुन्छ नि त्यो उसको दिमागमा अलरेडी केही आइडिया हुन्छ अनि उले त्यसरी इन्टरप्रेट गर्ने चान्सेस चाहिँ एकदम कम हुन्छ because they're going to take in everything you say के अनि त्यो कता कता त्यो सजिलो हुन्छ किनभने कन्भिन्स गराइन्छ के आफुलाई जे चाहिएको अनि they won't really have कस्तो मैले बुझिरहेको छु के भन्नु खोजेको they don't have any preconceived notions भनौं न लाइक अ ब्ल्याङ्क स्लेट अनि त्यहाँ आफ्नो मैले स्केच गर्न पाउँछु के त्यो चाहिँ राम्रो कुरा हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई अनि नराम्रो कुरा चाहिँ obviously त्यही हो they don't understand takes and sometimes it takes like 4 5 6 वटासम्म पुगेपछि चाहिँ हे मबाट भइरा छैन भनिदिन्छ and then what do you do after that and then उनीहरु प्रोफेसनल्स त हैन you can't expect them to be there and that the discipline factor के गर्ने हुन्छ नि एला हैन ठिकै छ नि त एकछिन रेस्ट गर्नु भन्यो त्यो पुरै सीन अब के गर्ने अब त्यसलाई रोक अब त्यही हुन्छ नि लेट्स गो डु समथिङ एल्स हुन्छ लाइक त्यही भएर मेरो मोस्टली कस्तो फिल्महरुमा लकीली देयर हैव बीन लाइक अ फ्यु एक्टर्स दैट आई हैव वर्क विथ मल्टिपल टाइम्स अनि उनीहरुसँगको काम सकाइदिने के त्यतिन्जेल अनटिल अनलेस त्यो अर्को एक्टर उसले आफ्नो भेट हाउस हुन्छ नि नन एक्टरले आफ्नो त्यो त्यस्तो कुराहरुमा चाहिँ प्रब्लम्सहरु हुन्छ है दिस इज एकदमै बेस्ड अन व्हाट आई हैव एक्सपीरियन्स आई एम नट सेइङ दिस इज हाउ इट इज फर एभ्रीबडी तर yeah त्यस्तै कुराहरु हो so many things they won't understand basically त्यही हो they don't have like this understanding हुँदैन त्यही नै राम्रो अनि त्यही नै नराम्रो कुरा हुन जान्छ के अनि त्यो सिचुएसनमा डिपेन्ड गर्छ के त्यो कहिले राम्रो हुन्छ कहिले त्यही कुरा नराम्रो हुन्छ
प्रशान्त जी
working with non-actors first thing is for me the characters once I have characters in my head and I have some kind of character if I find actors well and good if I don't find actors then I'll pick from non-actors and what I feel is first what I do is ask the person if you're interested in acting if that person is interested in acting and if it does not come out then it is my fault somebody is interested and I cannot take it out so it is completely up to me to bring out from but then sometimes you also you are desperate and you're looking for people and you find somebody do you want to act that person does not want to act then you cannot do anything with it so that way I feel working with actors or non-actors whatever it may be it does not really matter much main thing is how much can you make them understand or how can you make them believe that they can do it or sometimes you have to even trick them do many things on set depending upon the circumstances but yeah, it's up to us to make people give us what we need.
Okay. अनि यो दुईटा जस्तो उषा रजक सौगात मल्ल एन्ड नन एक्टर्स उनीहरुलाई ब्यालेन्स गर्नको लागि चाहिँ
after all, one actor or one non-actor, both are humans and they are having a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So how will humans have conversation? Let's see that. Let's look at that and make them do that. They will do it, and it will match completely. You know, if you ask from the actor a different thing, and if you ask from a non-actor different thing, then there will be a mismatch. You know, if you can put them together and say, you talk about this. You know, this is the situation. This is the mood. You know, less briefing is better, I feel. You know, I don't like to brief a lot. You know, just tell the actor a little bit, and if they get it, if they don't get it, then you give them a little more. You know? That way, you can take off from anyone.
So the movie was really beautiful. I found it really entertaining, and it was a good break for this quarantine session, whatever is going on. So I found the format of storytelling very interesting. So when I say the format, I mean how the major events in the first half of the film, they somehow repeat themselves in the second half, right? But the context is different. So the same events which show the romance and happy times, they are shown as, I feel like they're shown in some form of tragedy in the second half. So I wanted to know why you chose this technique of, let's say, repetition. Was it maybe for retrospection, or I wanted to know why you went for that?
Actually, it's not really a technique. It is just an observation of life itself. You know, in life also, if you see, you come across somebody, you know, like you have a good time, and then comes the second part, it's bad. You know. All my work is inspired from life itself. There isn't much of technique or anything like that. I don't know any technique. I never went to any film schools, or I haven't learned from anyone. So there isn't much of technique in my work. It is more of expression out of my own observation.
मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ खासमा हाम्रो प्रशान्त सरलाई हो तपाईले चाहिँ नि एक्टरहरु चुज गर्नु भएको छ जस्तोखेरि अब सौगात मल्ल पनि एकदमै भर्सेटाइल एक्टर हो भनेर चिनिन्छ नि त अनि त्यही अनुसारको फिल्मको माग अनुसारै छ अनि लाइक सिनेमेटिक पनि छ फिल्म हैन अनि त्यसपछि ह्यान्ड जेस्चरहरु त्यो लाइटमा युज गरेर एकदम रमाइलो छ मलाई चाहिँ फिल्मको चाहिँ बिचतिर पुगेर चाहिँ कस्तो लागेको थियो भने मतलब अघि नै हजुरले भनि पनि सक्नुभयो स्क्रिप्ट वाइज त्यति स्क्रिप्टै थिएन लगभग भन्दाखेरि अनि कति ठाउँमा चाहिँ एक्टरहरुले चाहिँ केही इम्प्रुभ गर्न खोज्दा पनि स्क्रिप्टले चाहिँ स्ट्रगल गरेको हो कि जस्तो लाग्छ के कुनै कुनै ठाउँमा चाहिँ जस्तो कि त्यो कान्छालाई चाहिँ कुमारी मरेको हो भनेर साथीले भन्नु जाने बेलामा चाहिँ एउटै कुरा दोहोर्याइ गर्छ क्या त्यतिखेर चाहिँ उसले अनि हुन त त्यो फिल्मको माग पनि त्यो बेला सेटिङको माग पनि त्यस्तै छ तर हजुरले चाहिँ यो स्क्रिप्ट वाइज चाहिँ जस्तो कुनै बेला चाहिँ अब अरु सपोर्टिङ एक्टरहरुको थ्रुबाट चाहिँ नि जस्तो डायलगहरु पनि केही माग छ जस्तो लाग्छ जस्तो मलाई चाहिँ नि त्यो कान्छाहरु चाहिँ चौरी चराउन जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ उसको साथीले भन्छ नि त किन यो त टोपी खाली टोपी लिइराछस् भनेर अनि कान्छा तैँले के रे तँलाई कसैले कहिले गिफ्ट दिएको छ भनेर भन्छ नि कान्छाले अनि त्यसपछि एकदम साइलेन्ट हुन्छ क्या अनि त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै दामी थियो क्या त्यस्तो पार्टहरु चाहिँ अनि फिल्मले चाहिँ त्यस्तो अझै सिचुएसन चाहिँ आइदियोस् जस्तो लागेको थियो मलाई सो मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ स्क्रिप्ट वाइज चाहिँ हजुरले यो मतलब केही बिचतिर गएर चाहिँ स्ट्रगल गर्छ जस्तो लागेकै थिएन कि लाइक हैन जे हो म चाहिँ एक्सप्रेसनकै आधारमा चाहिँ अगाडि लान्छु भन्ने सोच्नु भएको थियो हैन अनि अर्को चाहिँ नि यो कान्छा र कान्छीको रोल चाहिँ नि किन उनीहरु चाहिँ लाइक त्यो बोल्न नसक्ने नै चाहिँ किन थियो मतलब लाइक बोलेको भए के हुन्थ्यो होला भन्ने चाहिँ मैले सोचिरहेको थिएँ
बोलेको भए कथै अर्कै हुन्थ्यो होला Yeah, that's just an idea. I mean, how about यस्तो क्यारेक्टर्स नबोल्ने क्यारेक्टर्सको फिल्म बनाएको कसो होला भनेको जस्तो हो क्यारेक्टरको यसमा चाहिँ हैन जुन चाहिँ स्टोरीको रेपुटेसन जुन चाहिँ सौगातको छ नि मिड पोइन्टदेखि जुन चाहिँ आफ्टर उसको कुमारीको डेथ जुन चाहिँ रेपुटेसन छ इफ यु अब्जर्भ लाइफ हामीलाई अहिले सबै ठिकै छ हैन दिनभरि ठिक छ हिजो अस्ति पनि ठिकै छ अहिले एकैछिनमा ढोकाले अलिकति या त झ्यालले औँला च्याप्यो भने हामी दिनैभरि भोलिसम्म पर्सिसम्म जबसम्म यो औँला ठिक हुँदैन औँलाकै मात्र कुरा गर्छौँ हैन त जहाँ चोट लाग्छ त्यो कुरा त्यसमै मात्रै हुन्छ हाम्रो जबसम्म चोट ठिक हुँदैन तबसम्म हामी त्यहाँ रिपिटेटिभ हुन्छ लाइफमा इफ यु सी सो एक्ज्याक्टली त्यही हो सौगातको रेपुटेसन
खासमा चाहिँ मलाई के क्वेसन गर्न मन लागेको थियो भने तपाईँको क्यारेक्टर जुन छ नि के अरे जुन यो मुभीमा कुमारी भनेर जहाँ तपाईँ अब बोल्न सक्नुहुन्न नि त मुभीमा त होइन कुमारी एज अ क्यारेक्टर हाउ डिफिकल्ट वाज इट फर यु लाइक हुन्छ त्यो क्यारेक्टरभित्र गएर अनि त्यो एक्ट प्ले गर्नुलाई किनकि अब सिन्स वी क्यान सी लाइक अब तपाईँ त बोलिराख्नु पर्ने खालको नेचरको हुनुहुँदो रहेछ होइन सो त्यो सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ लाइक तपाईँले कसरी त्यो क्यारेक्टरभित्र जानुभयो लाइक त्यो तपाईँको एक्टिङ हेर्दाखेरि सो नेचुरल कि कस्तो मजाको थियो होइन हेर्दाखेरि कस्तो रमाइलो आएको थियो तपाईँले कसरी गर्नुभयो लाइक हाउ डिफिकल्ट वाज इट फर यु
In the most subtle of actions, there is so much work that goes into it, right? I'm still trying to decipher, I'm still trying to know, I'm still trying to discover these things. Possibly, how does it work? How did I do it? The only thing that I was honest. मैले डिरेक्टरले भने काम गरेको होमवर्क गरेको थिएँ कि एज अ गुड स्टुडेन्ट हुन्छ नि स्कुलमा त्यस्तै टाइपको के प्रशान्तले यो फिल्म हेर भने मैले हेरेँ होइन अनि प्लस मैले के एड गर्न सक्छु भने ए ल त्यो डेफ एन्ड म्युटको स्कुल गएर हेरौँ त के कस्ता रहेछन् भने अब्जर्भेसन आई डिड द्याट मलाई थाहा भएको सबै चिज गरेँ अनि भन्छ नि त्यो सेम इन्ग्रिडियन्ट्स पकाएर पनि खानेकुरा आमाको हात र भाउजूको हात र दाइको हातबाट डिफ्रेन्ट खानेकुरा बन्छ it's that special element which comes from every actor again.
एउटा पार्टमा जस्तो सौगात मल्ललाई त्यो अर्को गाउँको मान्छेले पिट्न भन्दा अगाडि त्यो एउटा सिन थियो नि जहाँ फेरि त्यो कुमारीको आत्मा जस्तो वाला देख्थ्यो होइन अनि तर त्यसमा चाहिँ खासमा अर्कै क्यारेक्टर तर्सिन्थ्यो त्यो चाहिँ खासमा के हो मैले त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति बुझ्न सकिनँ त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति रिलेट गर्न सकिनँ मैले चाहिँ खासमा त्यो चाहिँ के होला
yes it was unfair भड्केको आत्मा भन्छ नि I think Prashant wanted to show that कतिवटा सिचुएसनहरू जस्टिस नपाएर त हो नि आजको दिनमा हामीले भनौँ न I'm sure you have a story of your own जब कि जस्टिस नपाएर न्याय नपाएर हामी कता मनमा भड्किरहेका छौँ नि भडक्ती हुई आत्मा त्यस्तो होइन सायद त्यही देखाउन खोजेको होला द्याट सी हेजन्ट लेफ्ट द्याट प्लेस उसको दुःख अझै बाँकी छ त्यो ठाउँ उसको पेनहरू अझै बाँकी छ त्यो ठाउँमा त्यही भन्न खोजे होला झाँक्री बाजे चामल छर्किने भूत देख्ने maybe it's in the subconscious of the people okay they know they have sinned right they know they were not very good people when Kumari had her pain भनेपछि मनमा होला नि even if she didn't come back maybe it's in the conscience of those people right
okay so my question to Prashant especially was that since we're learning with the film studies so we're learning film but I wanted to know his share of thought that is it necessary that one has to learn like कतिको formal learning चाहिँ कतिको necessary छ उहाँको विचारमा भनेर सोध्न मन थियो अनि same question to Usha ji for like acting hours anything related to
not everyone of us is Mozart and Beethoven, right? Sanubala Dixit prodigies भयो हैन 2014 मा मेरो लाइफमा के भयो भने I got to attend a university, a very good university है त्यो अमेरिकन युनिभर्सिटी अफ सेन्ट्रल एसियामा त्यो युनिभर्सिटीले मलाई सिकाएको चिजहरू भनेको बेसिक्सहरू हो कि जस्तै हाम्रो यहाँ नेपालमा त हैन खोइ तपाईँ कस्तो स्कुल जानुभयो थाहा छैन म लिटल एन्जल्स पढेको हो कि द्याट्स वेयर आई गट माई बेस फ्रम एन्ड इट्स कन्सिडर्ड वान अफ द गुड स्कुल्स राइट तै पनि फुल स्टप कहाँ राख्ने कमा कहाँ राख्ने यु नो रिटर्न फर्ममा त द्याट इज आवर एक्सप्रेसन राइट त्यस्तो चिजहरू नसिकाउँदो रहेछ कि यस्तो अङ्ग्रेजी माध्यमको स्कुल पढ्दाखेरि पनि त्यस्तो हुने रहेछ अनि त्यो स्कुलमा चाहिँ त्यो युनिभर्सिटीमा चाहिँ आई गट टु नो द बेसिक्स अनि त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ आजको दिनमा आई स्टडिड ब्याचलर्स इन जर्नलिजम एन्ड मास कम्युनिकेसन अनि त्यहाँ मलाई त्यही बेसिक्स त सिकाउँछ नि युनिभर्सिटीमा होइन एथिक्स सिकायो अनि सेन्टेन्स लेख्दाखेरि कमा कहाँ राख्ने फुल स्टप कहाँ राख्ने पङ्क्चुएसन्स कहाँ राख्ने भन्दा मेरो 2014 को अगाडिको पोस्टहरू हेर्छु आइएम लाइक माई गुडनेस प्रस्तादी एकाडेमीको म टपर हो हजुर टपर थाहा छ फिमेलमा होइन अनि तै पनि मेरो यु नो भोकाबुलरी त्यो ऊहरू ग्रामरहरू त ओ माई गुडनेस हो अहिले मेरो नेक्स्ट डे आइ एम गेटिङ टु राइट द स्क्रिप्ट फर इट बिकज मेरो प्रड्युसर सी स मेरो फेसबुक पोस्टहरू कि सर्ट हुन्छ होइन बट सी स द क्वालिटी इन देम अनि खासै चेन्ज आएको छैन हजुर इट्स जस्ट द टेक्निकल फ्याक्टर्स सी लाइक द टेक्निकलिटिज अफ थिङ्स And the same with filmmaking, I guess.
As far as formal education is concerned, I think के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि it's fine. You can go make films without a formal education. No big deal. गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो गर्न नसकिने हैन. But when you have that, it's like a weapon, okay? And it'll help you solve things better. सजिलो बनाइदिन्छ problem solving चाहिँ किनभने back of your head काम efficient पनि हुन्छ. You're more confident. And त्यो सबै कुराले गर्दा भनौँ न त्यसले चाहिँ त्यही problem solving हो के set भनेको होइन त उषाजी I'm sure you'll agree like when you're on set त्यो त problem solving हो everything else is done before that अरु त you're just constantly solving problems there अनि त्यसको लागि त्यो strength चाहिँ I think formal education ले दिन्छ and that's why Avani and I decided to get a master's in film direction because we decided that's what we wanted to do so that's what we got and म फेरि अझै पनि म पढिरहेको छु because I want to know more हुन्छ नि मलाई अझै एक्सप्लोर गर्नु छ भनेर so yeah I think it does have its advantages but it's not like त्यो नहुँदासम्म गर्न सकिदैन भन्ने चाहिँ होइन I think that's the beauty of art.
So, like Ushaji, you said earlier that you wanted to have a baby and then you went on and had a baby and that was like a suicidal move for your career as an actress, right? So, about like Hollywood mata testo na hola, because we see Courtney Cox and they all have daughters and they're still like one of the leading actresses, right? Do you think like Nepal mata it is still considered as a suicidal move for actors after they have a baby or they get married?
But I'll try to narrow this down. It's very hard to narrow it down. First of all, तपाईँले बच्चा पाओस् नपाओस् हैन good makers will still be able to see what there is in you. हेर्नुस् न मेरो करियरको सबैभन्दा राम्रो फिल्म नै कथा भयो because Prashant saw what I still had. It didn't matter. I was so fat, so-called 36-24. I didn't have the ideal figure that is needed to be an actor. So good makers still see you, and that is why the like-minded mentors. So that was there. That is what still gave me work, And there is this other thing, more because I never give excuses for myself. For an actor, it's very important to be very, very healthy, physically able. I should be able to do that. I keep myself very updated in that manner. So, very few people appreciate that. I have to be honest. He gave me a role which was like, an insult to me, I try not to put my ego in front. Please give me roles which will be which will justify my experience. That's the only thing I have. Also, I did feel very insulted. अहिलेसम्म मैले यति धेरै सिकेको यति अपडेटेड राखेको र यो गर्न यस्तो खाले रोल गर्न एकदम मिसोजिनिस्ट टाइपको फिल्ममा हैन so that's there as well. Many people don't see what I have, and they do put me in a certain frame. Hey, what's up, now she's not sexually appealing for a lot of male crowd, like male audience for like she's not a sex bomb, but I'm not lagging by it's the type of it does exist, but I try not to pay attention to that, and I've been able to maintain that sanity. Rambo makers they still see it. It's good enough, but at the same time, to still sustain in such a society where people still are, like yes, I do go through a lot of loss.
So before I ask my question, I want to thank you, sir, for how you answered Acharya's question. Those are very inspirational words. So thank you very much. So my question is, while dealing with abstractions in filmmaking, both visually and conceptually, in many stages of the production or pre-production, how do you communicate these concepts with everyone involved in the film? Like, do you find it difficult to convey what you want to express, your visions?
Until now, I haven't had such an experience. Whenever I want something from somebody, I either tell them. If they don't get it, I get it myself. I will do it myself, So that's how I've been able to do things so far.
But sir, the way you sometimes, I think this is something that crosses my mind a lot when I'm watching movies. So, as a filmmaker, you have things imagined in your head, right? You want things to go. You've planned how scenes should go, but people who you work with or who you collaborate with might not have the same like-mindedness. So how do you communicate our ideas to them when in situations like that?
Yeah, sometimes you are working with new people, but like I said, it's completely up to you to make them understand. If you can understand somehow this is what I mean, then they'll understand and they'll give it. Because if they don't, never be able to give that. So if it is coming out in my work, then they have been able to understand. So it is up to us to really make the other one understand. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I'm imagining. This is what I want. This is how we can do it. If others don't understand what I mean, then we can tell them how this can be done, and we walk along with them and make them do it, and it'll happen.
You have the guts to just go out there and make this original, because those were not the kind of films that were being made back then, neither are they being made now. It still stands there. So yeah, it is just very thank you, I must say. Thank you for the film. अनि अर्को मलाई चाहिँ एउटा दुईटा कुरा that got me thinking चाहिँ जस्तो so I want to know, like, तपाईको लागि what is society and how does it influence you? एउटा कुरा I'm very interested in that, because यही फिल्ममै पनि जसरी सोसाइटीले एकदमै ब्रड तरिकाले मैले भन्दाखेरि हैन, सोसाइटीले जसरी ट्रिट गरेछ नि यो दुवैजना लभर्सहरुलाई के, is this like how our society treats lovers? Is this how what we are as a society? So what's your opinion on that? And अर्को कुरा मैले याद गरेको चाहिँ, why is death so beautiful in the film? कि मलाई मात्रै लाग्यो हो त्यस्तो. अनि अर्को, I also thought that the film was so as much about friendship as it was about love. I know त्यो दुईजनाको friendship थियो amongst the men, and I thought that maybe if the girl had a friend like that, she wouldn't have to go through all of this. I just felt so, I felt very badly for Kumari, and I thought that maybe usko euta arko sathi jasari ketako cha ni त्यस्तै उसको साथी भइदिएको भए things would have been so different. That's just how I am. म त्यस्तै गरेर हेर्छु केटीहरुको रोल्सहरुलाई. अनि yeah, I think that's what it is. I want to know from you, like, what is your idea of society, and तपाईले त्यही गरे हो कि मैले धेरै बुझे हो कि के हो, please?
Yes, society-को reflections प्राय मेरो फिल्ममा आइरहेको हुन्छ differently. Although I don't have too many characters in my movies, I don't like to have too many characters, that's how I like it. But then society-को face चाहिँ आइरहेको देखिरहेको हुन्छ. I feel I'm working as a mirror. The whole society in front of me, I'm the mirror, and the movie is the reflection. That's what it is, And
I think society does, like, हाम्रो society cannot, like, माया गर्ने मान्छेहरु हामी गर्न सक्दैनौ. Is that like?
No, there are good and bad as well, because there are people who don't do good to them, but at the same time there is Sonam, who is from the same village, but he is the best friend. He is there for them. So that way, for everyone there is somebody, and there are some enemies too. That is what I feel about society. About death, I feel death is the most beautiful thing, because it is liberation, it is freedom. The freedom has to be beautiful. That's what I feel. So that's why death looks beautiful in the movie.
It does come across as something very beautiful. Like I said, it was almost like a painting, duitai frame, okay? Kumariko pani त्यो पनि, it was very beautiful for me. So yeah, I was wondering if, like, the intention it थियो, which obviously it is now, I know.
So मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ यो स्टाफ टिममा नै एक्चुअली पहिला पनि साथीहरूले नि सोधिसकेको वाला हो जुन चाहिँ तपाईँले फर्स्टमै भन्नुभयो नि यो हरर मुभी खिच्न जानुभएको तर लभ स्टोरी जस्तै क्रिएट भयो भनेर अनि सो यो मुभीकोमा चाहिँ होइन मलाई 3टा पार्टमा चाहिँ त्यसकोमा चाहिँ क्वेसन सोध्नु थियो फर्स्टमा चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ अगाडि साथीले नि भनिसकेको थियो सौगात मल्ललाई चाहिँ कुमारीले टोपी गिफ्ट गरेको हुन्छ नि त अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ कसको क्याप हो यो कसको टोपी हो तिमीलाई थाहा छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि उसको कुमारीको बाउ चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ फादर चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ बित्नु भयो ढुङ्गाले ठिचेर वाला जस्तो कुराहरू निकाल्नु भएको थियो नि त अनि त्यो एउटा भयो सेकेन्ड वाला चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ त्यो टोइलेटमा चाहिँ आफ्टर कुमारीज डेथ होइन ऊ मरिसकेपछि चाहिँ त्यो एउटा आउँछ नि उसको बडी देख्छ नि त्यो वाला भयो अनि थर्ड वाला चाहिँ आफ्टर प्रेग्नेन्ट होइन कुमारी जब आई डोन्ट नो त्यो सौगात मल्ललाई खोज्न गएको टाइममा नि होला अँध्यारो हुँदाखेरि एउटा पहाड जस्तै ठाउँ उसको घरबाट पास भएर जुन चाहिँ माथितिर पुग्छ नि कुमारी अनि त्यति बेला त्यो पछिको सिन चाहिँ देखाइँदैन कि कुमारीले गाली गरेर या बोलाएको कस्तो गरेर देखाइदिन्छ तर त्यस उसको अगाडि चाहिँ के छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ देखाइएको छैन कि त्यो सिनमा चाहिँ त्यो तिनटै चाहिँ एउटा मिथ देखाउन खोज्नु भएको कि त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति बुझ्न सकेन
त्यो बोलाको जस्तो भन्ने त त्यो जुन चाहिँ कुमारी माथिसम्म गएर जान्छ त्यहाँ त उसको त्यो डेस्परेट एक्सन मात्रै हो सी इज नट कलिङ एनीवन किनभने अब ऊ त जहाँनिर कान्छा छ त्यहाँ त पुग्दैन पनि धेरै टाढोदेखि नै अलिकति मात्रै हिँडेर फर्किन्छ कि बट इट इज जस्ट द्याट डेस्परेट कल भनौँ न नट कलिङ एनीवन बट जस्ट डेस्परेट कल कहिले हामी हताश भएर आकाशमा हेरेर भगवान्लाई हेर्छौँ नि हामी एक्ज्याक्टली कतापट्टि भगवान्लाई हेरेको वी डोन्ट जस्ट कुरा जुन चाहिँ अब एक त उसको लभको गिफ्ट हो होइन एन्ड त्यो त उसले एकदमै जोगाएर राख्छ घरिघरि उसले त्यसलाई सम्हाल्छ र साथीको पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू छ उसको लागि त बेस्ट अफ फ्रेन्ड्स अब आई डोन्ट नो अबाउट फिमेल्स बट गाइज आर लाइक जति राम्रो साथी हुन्छ त्यति धेरै जिस्काउने त्यति धेरै खुट्टा तान्ने यो हुन्छ कि सो द्याट इज द वे इट इज वाइ सोनाम टक्स अबाउट द क्याप द्याट वे वेयर एज सौगातले चाहिँ किन के भन्छ त्यतिको सम्हालेर राख्छ भन्ने कुराको चाहिँ त्यही हो जस्टिफिकेसन
लाइक मङ्किज प पनि होइन जसको हातमा पर्छ होइन त्यो मान्छे नराम्रो हुन्छ अनि यो टोपी पनि जसले लाउँछ त्यो मान्छे मर्छ क्या होइन उसको ड्याडले लगायो अनि उसले ऊ लगायो क्या या
तपाईँको अब एउटा डिरेक्टर भएपछि मैले चाहिँ एउटा सिन वा एउटा मुभी आफ्नो तरिकाले इमेजिन गरेको हुन्छ नि त होइन अनि ठ्याक्क त्यसको चाहिँ रेप्लिका बनाउन खोज्छु नि त आफूलाई जे ठिक लागेको छ अनि एक्टरहरूलाई नि त्यसै अनुसार चाहिँ काम गर भन्छु नि त होइन त्यो ठिक कि तपाईँको एक्टरहरूलाई फ्री छोडेर होइन तिमीहरूलाई जे गर्नु मन छ गर तर मलाई बेस्ट रिजल्ट चाहियो जति इम्प्रोभाइज गरे नि भयो त्यस कुन चाहिँ तपाईँको तरिका ठिक हुन्छ कि आफूले इमेजिन गरेर तपाईँको एउटा बााउन्ड्री बनाउन राख्ने कि एक्टर्सहरूलाई फ्री छोडिदिएर जे गरे पनि मलाई बेस्ट रिजल्ट देऊ भनेर चाहिँ अनि काम गर्ने इट सुड बी बेटर
See, what I feel is, of course, directors will first have something in their head, and त्यसपछि मात्रै त्यो कुरालाई अब रियालिटीमा ल्याउने हो. Is there are two ways of doing it. One way is having a visual idea about what I want, and another one is having an emotional idea of what I want. So if you are having a visual idea, then you are stuck to the visuals, and you want that no matter what, even if the artist can do that or not, the space provides that whole support or not, no matter what, you want that visuals, whereas if you are guided by emotion, then the visual can change right there, but then emotion will not change. So that is how I look at it. I go by emotion rather. Yes, there are visuals that I have in my head when I'm writing a story, but when I get to the set, I know it's not going to be the same. But can it be any better? That's what I look at. If it can be better, it's better. But keep the emotional thing intact. That's what I do.
अनि के अरे आई हेभ अनदर क्वेसन टु हुन्छ नि स्क्रिप्ट लेख्दा तपाईँको के किन बनाउँछु जस्तो लाग्छ मास्टर पिस बनाउँछु जस्तो लाग्छ होइन अनि तपाईँको फ्लोरमा जाँदा ल केही न केही त बन्ला नि त मास्टर पिस नबने जस्तो लाग्छ अनि तपाईँको एडिटिङ टेबलमा जाँदा के चाहिँ बनाएछु जस्तो फिल हुन्छ कि यसलाई ट्याकल कसरी गर्ने कि हुन्छ नि आफ्नो
So
एक्सपेक्टेसन चाहिँ
yeah, that depends upon the involvement of the director from pre to the end. Involvement भन्नाले कहिलेकाहीँ lot yes everyone is involved आफ्नो फिल्म बनाउँदाखेरि प्रीदेखि एन्डसम्म नै तर कुन कुन टेक्निकल एरियाजतिर चाहिँ आफू पनि बस्छ you know like editing from shooting to production designing सबै कुरामा नै आफ्नो उयो छ भने चाहिँ धेरै हद नै it won't be down to 0%. You'll at least get 60% of what you want. You know, if you are involved, like completely, you have to have a clear idea about writing, shooting, lighting, and production designing, and also editing, background scoring, color, and a whole packaging. So when you have the complete knowledge about everything and you are involved in everything to make sure that it is coming out the way you want, then it can come up to 60%. But 0% is a difficult. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Where do you see the cinema industry? Okay, Nepali Bhasi cinema industry going after this whole Corona thingy? What is your take on it, both of you guys?
अब नेपाली फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीमा के हुनेवाला छ भनेर आई डोन्ट नो आई रियली डोन्ट नो किनभने मेरो एउटा म्युजिक भिडियो सुब्रत आचार्यजीसँग थियो त्यो पोस्टपोन भयो वी डोन्ट नो व्हेन वी विल शुट दैट मेरो थिएटरको शो पोस्टपोन भयो अनि अर्को एउटा फिल्मको हामी काम गरिरहेको थियो अब सबैजना विदेशी लगानीकर्ता मेकर्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ सबैजना आफ्नो आफ्नो देश जानुभयो देयर इज अनसर्टेनिटी. But these are the facts. I can only tell you what is happening to me at the moment.
Okay. Prashantji.
Okay. Well, business-wise, it's a big event, big disaster that has happened globally, and it's not just Nepali industry; it is the global industry. Yeah. Art related industry, that's why what will happen is it will not collapse, it will change, the formats will change. Say from theater going, it will be limited to Netflix and stuff like that, but art will never die, the format will change. What I'm seeing is I can see a lot of good things because of this Corona effect. In terms of, first I feel now movie making won't be that easy thing to do because people cannot put in money just like that, the way we were doing for past 20-30 years, because money was easy, the world was going good, no, there was no pain, so we were making all nonsense, we don't have stories, we didn't have emotions, you know. But if you look at all those movies of 40s, 50s and 60s, people had gone through a lot of pain during the Depression and World War. So there were stories, there were contents. So I feel now we will have contents, we will have good makers only coming up, because it won't be that easy now finding, just any uncle or aunt investing money in your movie and making a movie. Movie making, I feel, because of the Corona effect, will be good. Yes, about the hall and things, these are businesses. Businesses are different. The business pattern will change, form will change, and those who are doing business out of art will continue to do business out of art, but artists will continue the way they are, I feel, but we will get better, definitely. And अरू त त्यस्तो खासै केही छैन, असर सबैलाई हो, हामीलाई सानो सानो ठाउँमा मात्रै होइन, सबैलाई असर हो. जति ठुलो इन्डस्ट्री त्यति ठुलो असर भएको छ अहिले. हाम्रो त के थियो, लाख लाखमा खेल्थ्यौँ, लाखै हरायो होइन. अरबमा खेल्नेहरू त उनीहरू पुरै हराएर जान्छ. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि we don't have to worry much. I think positive side is that we will get better.
Wow, that is very positive of you, Prashant. I hadn't thought of that, but that is so correct.
Okay, so any last words, anyone?
New filmmakers are like a few things. That is, first know why you want to make movies. If it is for money, don't. If it is something that wants to come out from within, then do it. It's a journey. Don't call it a struggle. And never imagine success. There's no such thing as success. It is only a journey. So if you avoid these things like success, calling your journey a struggle, and making just want to earn your living out of it, then don't do it. That's what I say. Otherwise, go ahead and just live your life. That's it. Filmmaking is living many lives in one life. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद. हामी जान्छौँ.